G'day, I'm Author NZ, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yesterday I put up a video on prepping and my take on what prepping is as opposed to what we do down here in New Zealand compared to what some of you guys in the United States would be doing. I thought I'd follow that up today with a video that shows a bit more practically what steps I've taken myself in regards to what my family and I have put aside in preparation for, generally speaking, a natural event, an earthquake, a flood, a tsunami, a volcanic situation. I'd say that I'm probably more prepared than most people in New Zealand, and going by public forums after the Christchurch earthquake, I know that's a fact. I know that there were 99% of the people in Christchurch had no preparation in place at all as far as food and water went, which I think is a shame, because we live in a place in the world that is volatile and can be violent, and you know, I think that having some sort of preparation put aside for an event like that is really important. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I call EDC, and I'll show you the basic stores. You know, like I haven't got a lot of food stored or water stored, but we're really only contemplating being, you know, maybe away from home for a night, maybe 2, maybe 3 nights. Like I said on my other video, if I couldn't get back in here to get food, it would be, you know, the house would be destroyed, and I can't see that, you know, I can't see that being an issue. I don't think we're going to get taken over by the Australians. So for us, being prepared means having a bit of food, a bit of water, and some basic skills. You know, on the water thing, within 20 minutes of where I'm sitting in my car, I can find 3 springs. There's the Onipu Springs, there's the Otakeri Spring, and there's another one whose name I can't remember. But I can take 20-litre jugs up there, and from the ground, coming out of the ground, is water that we bottle and sell overseas. You know, so we're in a really good position here, in that water is probably not going to be a survival thing. You know, if it comes down to surviving, I know where I can get water from. That makes me fortunate. You know, if I lived in Christchurch, that wouldn't be the case. But from where I am, from my perspective, what I've done to prepare, I believe, is probably more than I'd need to. Okay, so I'll show you what I call EDC, and I'll show you what we've put aside for our preparedness. Okay, so one of the most important things I think is having water. That is a 20-litre water jug. You know, that's something that we use when we go camping, right? So we haven't put aside anything that we don't use anyway, but nowadays we keep it full. Alright, now when we go camping, I'll empty that out, I'll put it in the boat with the tent and, you know, with all our other camping things, and we'll take that with us and use it. So it's not something that we've gone out and bought specifically for this, but that's a 20-litre of clean water. I'll change that every year. If I don't use it, you know, if I don't go camping or I don't use the jug, I'll change that every year anyway. Okay, so I've got 4 of those stored here, which gives me 80 litres of water, which I think is probably quite enough. Now over there you're going to see 2 bags. These have got basically food, basically canned food, dried food, you know, things like a bit of soup. There's enough food in there for myself and my family basically for 3 days. Now there's nothing flash, we're not going to have dinner parties, this is just about surviving. Okay, there's a few things like there's a gas cooker, there's a little pot, there's a couple of cups for coffee, there's a few personal things, toothpaste, toothbrushes, there's a little bit of cash. One of the things in Christchurch was there was no electricity in a lot of places, there was no EFTPOS, you couldn't purchase anything using a ATM card, you couldn't get money out of an ATM. So we keep about $100 worth of cash in there if we need to buy bread or milk or something like that. You know, that's going to help. You know, you can see a rope and you can see a torch. There's first aid equipment, there's shelter, there's a tarpaulin, obviously there's a rope there, there's things like cord, duct tape, I've got a folding shovel. I'm not going to unpack them because it takes too long to put them all back together. You can see they're pretty bulging. One of the most important things that I've got is down here is a list. And it's a list that if we get a tsunami warning and my wife's got half an hour to pack the car up, she can grab these bags, she can grab a jug of water, and if she's got some time she can get this list out and she can look at this, and it needs to be updated. But here we've got tent, tin food, laptop, wedding album, things that you might forget about that if you've got time and you have to leave your house, things like sleeping bags. We haven't gone and bought another sleeping bag for everybody just on the off chance that we may need it in a survival situation. So in that list is things like that you might forget, and if you've got a few extra minutes you can grab that list out and have a bit of a look through it. Okay, so right here, this is a bag that I carry with me, and it goes everywhere with me. Now I've just been getting ready to go to work and I've decided not to today, but it's a convenient way to carry a water bottle, and I've always got a few biscuits in there that I take for morning tea at work. This bag, I'm a mechanic, so I don't want to have things in my pockets all the time, so this, I keep my keys, my wallet's in here, my cell phone's normally in my pocket, but if it wasn't in my pocket it would be in here. I've got some tissues. Now I've got some tissues because I've got young kids, and you can be out somewhere and the kids need their nose wiped or something, so these aren't survival things, but they are for a parent. So we've got some tissues in there. I always like to carry a knife. I've always have carried a knife. This is nothing special, it's just a pocket knife, but I've used it on a lot of occasions to cut a cable tie or to cut a rope or to cut something that was holding me up for some reason. Now I've gone really overboard in here, and I've got a whistle and a compass and a flint and a wire saw, a few little bits and pieces in there that, if I was in a survival situation, things like that would help. I've got a cigarette lighter, and I've probably got a little torch in here. And again, I'm not going to unpack everything, but this is about a $3 torch that I got from a place on the internet in China. It's nothing flash. So if I had to, I've got water. In a survival situation, there's water there for me for a day at least. I've got the means to make a fire. I do now have a survival bracelet that's made of 550 paracord. If I needed cord, there's some there. In the front pocket here, I've got some first aid gear. Some painkiller, there's some plaster, there's some tape, I've got a nightstick, just a few basic first aid, real basic survival things. And like I say, this is a bag that when I go out, I throw it in the car, I take it with me. If I go to work, it's got my water bottle, it's got my morning tea, it's got my wallet, and as far as EDC or everyday carry in New Zealand, I guarantee you this is more than most people have got. Okay, so that's basic preparation. I think it's enough for where we are. You see, we're not concerned. I know in America you're concerned about people as a threat, and we're not too concerned about that. Your firearms laws over there give you a solution, but they also gave you the problem, and that is so many people are carrying guns. When somebody knocks on your door, you don't know what you're going to face. We don't really have that worry here. Now, am I armed? Yes, I am. I've got guns. A lot of people in New Zealand do. I believe, as far as per capita goes, we have one of the highest rates of firearm ownership in the world, and that's because we're a rurally based country. A lot of people have a .22 rifle or a shotgun that's used for shooting rabbits or shooting possums. Going out spotlighting at night for a possum or a rabbit is a great form of entertainment here. That's what we do to keep ourselves amused. We don't consider carrying firearms for personal defence. It's not what we do. Yeah, I have handguns. This is an airsoft, you know, which is of no use to me at all, but it's a bit of fun to play with. I have got handguns. If I was in a situation where I had to leave my house and, you know, go somewhere else to survive, I'd take my .22 rifle with me. I wouldn't bother with handguns. They're no good for shooting rabbits at night. You know, with my rifle I can supply food. All you need is a torch and a .22 rifle with a scope on it. So, you know, we don't really consider handguns to be a priority as far as preparation goes. So that's my little video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you have an understanding more now of what we are preparing for here in New Zealand as opposed to what's going on in other parts of the world. Alright, thanks for watching Author NZ. Check back soon. Cheers.